Hello and welcome to another review by me, Kozan. Today we'll be looking at Mcree gameplay. Hello and welcome to another review by me, Hold up, Kozan. Hold up. My bad, that sometimes happens. Yeah, it's gonna be a Mcree gameplay. It's gonna be Master League, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Master League, but it is on console. I've went through the footage once. I got some notes with me. Yeah, I'll be trying to go through them as we watch the video. To start out with, I'm noticing kind of your team. I believe you have the Reinhardt, the Zen, Torbjorn. Maybe we'll see it later on, but the Mercy as well, the Diva. So you got a pretty static defense. So your positioning here is pretty good. Near the half truck, you can back up whenever you need to for the Pharah and get line of sight on her. You still got a pretty good sight on that high ground as well. Kind of covering everything while using your Rhine shield as well. Right, I like you turning around here. Trying to deal with the Diva. Taking good position here near the health pack as well. Staying with your team. You stood there a little bit long. I don't know, you could have started looking for other people, but there it was, a monkey. Also, you can look around and look through that window behind you. I'm not sure if you know, but it is a window. You can just look through it and just see the other side.
You got any extra armor?
So if you ever get stuck there, you can look around and see how many enemies are still coming in, such. Okay, so again, what I did notice, you got your ult as soon as you killed the Mcree here. Oh, sorry, the Mcree. The Winston. The battle is pretty much over right now. There's not much going on. Definitely go look for... Because they do have the Pharah and the Mercy. Their Mercy just died, so the Pharah most likely won't be coming in very soon. So this is a really good point. You could have tried to take that the high ground. And with the high ground, I basically mean... Let me see, you look at it here. Okay, yeah. I can point it out here. Let me paint. There we go. Okay, yeah, over here, this little high ground, right? Try to get up there. Afterwards, it's the perfect little location for you to just wait up that Pharah that boosts up. If you shoot her maybe once, twice, get a little bit of damage on her, maybe the Mercy will come up as well. And then you can just ult them both.
Oh, I hear him.
Also, back there, it's a little bit trickier for the Pharah to hit you initially, because from here, she can... You know, the rockets have a very short distance, so you have a shorter time to react. And back there, if you use your ult, you have a little bit longer to react, and it's easier to use your ult. Because over here, you're never gonna really get a lot of value from Mcree's ult. Either they're gonna be too quickly on top of you when you use it, and there's so much stuff they can just hide behind and line of sight you from here. Even though it's a great location for you to be normally, right? To make use of your flashbang and your roll and be close up enough to your team to still lay down the damage without too much fall off. A little bit slow there to going back to the fight, checking for the air I think for the Pharah, but she was still on the left side, so it took a little bit. I'm not sure if that's... I think that kind of could be console, right? I never play on console myself, so I'm not too familiar with it. Just to let you know. Okay. So yeah, again, you still have the ult. But yeah, you could have looked for that a little bit earlier, like I said. The same thing still.
I'm dropping shield. I recharge it.
Okay, a little bit of a funky Diva ult by your team. You're backing up a little bit much. Okay, the Pharah did come inside, so you take cover for her. Okay, so basically I wanted you to go to the high ground earlier, really, because like you have a really good sight here to use that ult, right, on that Mercy and Pharah, like you just saw. But because you went a little slow and the fighting already was going on here, I don't think it was very good for you to then later on still go to the high ground, because you lose a lot of value if the team fight is already going on and you take a long time here to walk around. So maybe just try to repoke out at that door there The Pharah did seem to be shooting something else with her ult. Here, if you listen closely, you hear Lucio use his ult. Let's drop the beat before you jump down. So wait for that ult to land before you ever jump down on the Reinhardt like this, because it might still hit him, and it does. Also, what I want to point out, like, it's not completely necessary for you to immediately slay this Reinhardt right here. Your team is still doing okay. You just killed their Mercy. You're kind of trading out equally. They rested Lucio though, and then your D.Va gets killed. That's a little bit nasty, but like, you still got a good group of dudes at the front door. And because this is 2 CP, it's not completely necessary for you to immediately stop him from getting that first tick. Because on CP first point, if they ever win a fight decisively, what they are looking for obviously, they're gonna have that point anyway, because your spawn is so far away. So if they ever manage to really get ticks, it's less important than it would be on the first point. Because if they ever win the fight, they're gonna get all the 3 ticks anyway.
Genji's 1, Lucio's low.
So yeah, just wait up on the high grounds and just try to find value elsewhere. Reinhardt had nobody behind his shield, so you could have just maybe shot somebody on the left.
60 seconds remaining.
I'm dead, dude. Fuck.
Okay, coming back here. I wouldn't go forward here anymore. I would have already liked you to try and get up on the high ground here. Again, like, the fighting is already going on heavily, and it's taking you a while before you really start to put your value into this fight. Good looking for the Mercy, good targeting, going after her, very nice. Taking her down, that's good.
But he was stagger.
I got you, Mcree.
It's always tricky again, that's okay.
Let's fuck him up.
I didn't like you using the right click actually, just because if it was a deflect, you most definitely would have died. Also there, just missing the deflect timing slightly.
Yeah, he's out.
Okay, I like your position here, especially because your Torb put a turret right here, right? So if you're in this little box to the left, over here, if you ever go inside, you're going to be covered by the turret. And it's really difficult for their front line to jump on you without taking extra damage, or at least, you know, with the others of their team following up. Because they do still have the Reinhardt, I believe, as well. Yeah, so they have a lot of stuff that's just going to be on the low ground. This Pharah ult is a little nasty. Let me look at the time where I'm at. 8 minutes, okay. So the Pharah ult, I'm not sure. Like, honestly, she flew around quite well. The turret didn't really spot her either, so that didn't give you a sign at all at one point. But again, if you were a little bit more here, maybe you would have gotten that intel by the turret a little bit more before she found you. Just more to the left there. Also, you could have kept the Genji that tries to go for the turret afterwards away from the turret. Like, he's going for the turret right now, and you could have kind of kept zoning him away from the turret there. Yeah. Okay. I mean, the Pharah ult, it's just unfortunate, right? You were there with 2 people together, so that's a little clumped, but
That's it.
it's difficult. I also didn't really fully hear her. There was already a lot of sound going on. Right, there was one thing I wanted to point out. You came in through the left door. The Pharah was still up, so the Pharah could have very likely been already camping close by to this area where you're at right now, and been ready to boop anybody who tried to get out his door. So yeah, I would prefer you to take the other door in cases like this. Also, there's a mini health pack there a little bit closer by, and access for Mcree to the high ground. Okay, so let's see. I don't think there's much that happens here. Let's see. We're at 5-8 defense. Okay, yeah. So the D.Va, she goes away. You're a little bit slow on following back up on her again. The Mercy here definitely tried to target her sooner. And then what I wanted to note is over here. Their team is kind of going to the right. What you did in this case is you back up towards your spawn area again. I would have liked to see you try to be more against this wall right here. Let me see. Okay, to this side, hug that wall, and then try to get more over there really, and roll that way. That way, their entire team will have to look the other way. So the Reinhardt, the Diva, they all look away from the rest of your team that are coming in from spawn. Yeah, it doesn't always help, obviously, but like it's. I think especially on console, if you just make people turn around more, it's gonna help you out more. Especially in situations like those, you just kind of need them to be as much of a bother as you can. Also, well, with the roll backing up there, I think you rolled as well to the right a little bit, and that was just more towards the Reinhardt, which is, you know, never a good thing. Alright, second defense. Did I miss anything, by the way? I saw it one. I think it's here, really, this point defense.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So you go up on the high ground here a little bit earlier, which I like, actually. It's a pretty good thing. And you're gonna notice that you're gonna have a lot easier time, actually, on the high ground here. You're less panicked, and you're gonna have to retreat a little bit less. Diva's still up there. Okay, so shooting here, making sure, very nice, targeting the Mercy here.
Well, that's really
very good. Good shooting on the Pharah. She's low already, so I don't mind that many shots. As soon as she got that high though, and that Mercy is still in sight, I would like you to just go for the Mercy instead. Because the damage on her is gonna stick a lot longer. Or at least more. And if you do so, you might force her away from the Pharah, which opens up the Pharah for killing. You almost get her though, and the Diva is following up on you, so it almost worked, but... Like, I think afterwards your Diva tries to go for the Pharah as well. Then you kind of are losing this fight quite heavily. Still. And yeah, basically, like, this entire fight, you got a lot of damage on the Pharah, but you never really pushed her away completely. Or you killed her off. You didn't either kill her off, you know. So yeah, just maybe switch targets a little bit sooner. And also, I noticed it's. Let me go back to it for a moment. I forgot to mention it. Well, here's somewhere. Never gonna find it now. Wait. Maybe I wrote it down. Keep making up. 7. Okay, so it's probably before then. All right, here, yeah. No. Oh, here it is. Yeah, you still had one bullet. Like you still could shoot. Yeah, I saw it happen a couple of times. It's taking me a bit, so I'm not sure if that you're doing it consistently, but it happens here and there, where you still had some bullets in your magazine before when you reload it. And yeah, you basically just want to try and shoot them all. In situations like that, anyway. Like here, it's okay, I suppose.
Save lots, guys. It's save lots.
Shooting the Rhine shield fully, though, that's quite worth it. Again, yeah. I don't know. You could have gotten just a few more shots in on the Rhine shield before you reload. I think you hear the Pharah here. Great ear, by the way. Then almost get her as well. That's all right. Let me see this again, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what the like what it is like on console necessarily, but especially on PC, if you flashbang a squishy, you gotta go for that left click just on the head. It's just gonna do more damage, more consistent, and you'll still have more bullets afterwards.
60 seconds remaining.
You got pretty good aim. So I'm not sure if it's how doable it is on console, and I guess it depends on your sensitivity as well. But yeah, try to get for those headshots a little bit more when you throw the flashbangs instead of the right click on the squishies. All right, so I like your sorry, I like your position here, keeping everybody away from this high ground. Unfortunately, you do get hit by the Pharah rockets a couple of times. I feel like you might be able to dodge one of those at least with like a combat roll. Get a good kill on the Pharah here.
What a slut.
I got 2.
Pharah came back. That is annoying.
I got 3.
You did hear the rest sound though, by the way, I want to mention, so it's again something you could have noticed a little bit sooner and been prepared for. I think let me see actually.
Oh my fucking god, that dude was down.
Yeah, you hear it here. So you could have already been looking for it, right? And then kind of been ready to roll into the trance if you really needed to.
I got 2. I got 3.
But yeah, okay. And then I don't know. Well, you are low HP, but maybe if you instead of trying to get to the right here, if you had gone to the left a little bit more, you could have dropped down, grabbed that health back, and been
I got 3.
more capable of running into the fight a little bit quicker. But then again, you would have given up your high ground, so I'm not sure. Try to poke out a little bit quicker.
Go and take out one of their picks. I'm in.
Okay. So this last part, I noticed you guys tried to do a little bit of a flank with the Reaper and the Mercy. All I want to say about this is really actually Reaper doesn't excel as a flanking character necessarily. Like you can get flanks with Reaper, but he's less good of a flanking character because he really has to get up in people's faces, and then afterwards it's very difficult for him to get out because his shade is you know, he does become invulnerable, but he doesn't get very far and he isn't very quick with it. So people like if you still go in on a flank, it's still very easy for them usually to kind of follow up on you and just deny you if you go in solo. But he excels when he goes with his tanks, like a Reinhardt for example, and just stays behind the shield. Behind the shield he can just keep on running with the Reinhardt, especially if you have a Lucio as well, and just run into the enemy team. The Reaper runs into the Rein shield and you just start spamming from as close by with your tanks and healers all around you. Yeah, you just run into a brawl as quickly as you can, and then you just start dealing more damage than the enemy can with the Reaper. And also what I'd like to mention, like the Mercy, I'm not sure if you watch your team member, but yeah, Mercy is the best of course when she can jump to other allies and use those allies to jump away from any threat that might be after her. Instead you guys go for a little bit of a flank here and then you try to cap the point. What I'd like to point out, I don't completely hate this. This is an okay strat to do as Reaper. I'm not sure if you should have taken Mercy with you, but yeah, keep an eye on the kill feed, because most of your team already was dead at this point and you didn't get any picks yourself. So well, the value of let's talk about the value of flanking, right? You're gonna flank, and that only helps out because your team is still pushing from the front as well. So they're gonna have to pull resources from the front to deal with whatever's in the back, and that creates openings for your team to work with. But yeah, they're already dead, so it's hard for them to follow up on this. If you just stayed up there to where you were teleported to, if you stayed up there, Mercy kind of revealed to you though. That's unfortunate, maybe that's why. But yeah, just stay hidden, wait for those little arrows to get close to the door again until you hear some shooting, and then you can just start bothering them really. Yeah, I think that's most of it, of my review for this one. I think it just goes on right with the Reaper, and yeah, it's okay. I hope this was somewhat helpful to you. If it was, then well, thank you for watching, and I'm glad it was helpful to you then. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, maybe you want to see some more videos, then make sure to hit that subscribe or follow on the Twitch, whatever it is you're watching. And yeah, have a good one, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.